I gotta say that one thing that I really do enjoy about the Star Wars franchise is not just the lightsaber duels, but it's all about the space battles in the originals, the sequels, and even the prequels. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, I will say that I was quite disappointed with one of the big space battles in The Last Jedi. I felt it was just too slow-paced. It wasn't as fast-paced as it was in the original trilogy, and even in the prequel trilogy at that. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with one of the major space battles coming in Episode 9. Specifically, a description of Rey inside of a new starfighter of some kind, firing at a large weapon that is beaming energy down to the surface of a green world. The cockpit that Rey is in resembles that of an E-Wing. The next goes over a large First Order finalizer getting impacted by a massive explosion and splitting into two halves, crashing into other finalizers, with tons of debris taking out other starfighters and TIEs. Another describes Leia on board of a large ship on the bridge commanding fighters to fire on 4 of the large superweapons of the First Order, firing down on the planet. A description of the Millennium Falcon getting chased by 6 missiles, with the Falcon dodging them as it goes through debris from the finalizers. Some of the missile explosions cause the TIE fighters to explode and collide into each other. Lastly, a description of Kylo Ren inside some kind of new starship, taking out X-Wings, E-Wings, and B-Wings. It appears he is on a streak and wrecking havoc within the battle, while Finn and Poe are both inside of an upgraded B-Wing, taking out TIEs and new ship designs that belong to the First Order. So I really want to go over this because we've been hearing about this major space battle to come in this movie for the longest time now that will include pretty much every single main character in this story. Now, we do know that there are going to be 2 space battles in Episode 9 and 1 very brief battle in this movie that's going to be a very short sequence. Now, with that all being said, I gotta say, it really seems like that they are really trying to implement space battles in Episode 9, something that really wasn't a thing in The Force Awakens, and also something that was quite the letdown in the Last Jedi. I just felt it was too slow-paced in my opinion. So, looking at everything here, we do know that we have these large weapons now that belong to the First Order that are firing down on this mysterious world that could very well be the planet of Batu or just a brand new world entirely. Now, what are these weapons? Are they indeed the World Devastators from Star Wars Legends / the EU material? Now, it's very possible that these are, yes, the World Devastators. We've been hearing about them for quite some time now, that they are boxy / square in design and do have 4 large engines on the bottom of each one of them, firing down loads of energy onto a planet. Sounds like the World Devastators, if you have to ask me. It could very well be that Disney and Lucasfilm are trying to dig into the EU and kind of implement that into Episode 9, which is a good idea as long as it's done right. Now, as far as super weapons go, you know, coming into Episode 9, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Do you guys really want to see super weapons in this movie? I feel like that this is a different take on super weapons where they're not necessarily going to implement a large, you know, Death Star 2 or Starkiller Base 2 type of thing going on here, but it's multiple large weapons that are able to wreak havoc on a planet. Now, the other one that really does pique my interest is Leia on board of this large ship. She's on the bridge of a large ship ordering a lot of officers and a lot of soldiers to fire on these things. So Leia will also be a part of this space battle. Now, it's very likely that she is on board of the Sledgehammer, a deleted scene from The Force Awakens that has yet to be released. Now, we do know that they're going to be using a lot more footage from The Force Awakens than The Last Jedi in Episode 9 because, well, there's just so much to work with in Episode 7 that they did not use in the final version of the movie. So, Leia is going to have a huge part in this space battle, which is honestly really great to know. Now, the other thing that I do want to go over is Kylo Ren wreaking havoc in this space battle sequence where he's taking out E-Wings, X-Wings, and B-Wings. Now, we've been hearing about these B-Wings coming into play here, where they will be upgraded versions of that. And B-Wings is, of course, something that we haven't seen in the longest time, ever. So, them implementing this into the sequel trilogy, I think is a fantastic idea, and how it goes over both Finn and Poe working together inside an upgraded B-Wing, taking out ties and new starfighter designs that belong to the First Order. Finally, we get to see these two together once again, working as a team just like they did in the very beginning of The Force Awakens inside of that TIE fighter above the surface of Jakku. And honestly, I really like how those two characters were able to have such an amazing moment in Episode 7, where they're inside of that TIE fighter, you know, doing what they have to do to escape the First Order, and they eventually do. In this scenario, they're actually in a battle trying to defend themselves and trying to win the big fight against Supreme Leader Ren and the First Order, or whatever this new order is going to be called. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to morning.